Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Flashback Generations. Milled through every single character of Imperial Assault. 16 characters. As usual, it's myself, Pete, and the car.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about General Sorin. Was he in the films?
No, I don't think so. No.
No, is he in the extended universe or anything?
No, I'm no expert, but I think he's an FFG made up one.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't know him. Anyway, yeah, he's a vicious tactician. That's what they write about him.
Yeah.
So, well, let's find out. So, as usual, we're just going to concentrate on the skirmish side of things instead of the campaign, and we'll talk about General Sorin. So, he costs 8 points, and you can only have one of them in your list. He's unique, and he is Imperial only. He has a leader keyword.
Yep.
He obviously there's only him in his detachment. He's got 7 health, 4 speed, 1 black die, and he's blue-yellow attack. I honestly want to start comparing this guy to the red Imperial officer.
Yeah, he seems close to that.
He's very close to him, and this is the red Imperial officer. Obviously costs 5, but the abilities are quite similar, so we can actually, and they're the same faction, so it's something we can really compare and contrast with them. So the red Imperial officer has 5 life, and this guy's 7, and he's got a black die instead of the white die. But honestly, if this guy's getting shot, he's kind of in the wrong place anyway.
Yeah.
That's not, same with the Imperial officers. They're typically not meant to be in the front line, although they're pretty good because they got cowardly. But the black die is it worth the extra points? A red officer is 5 points. He's 8.
He's 8 points, and he gets 2 extra health.
2 extra health and a black die instead of a white one.
He hasn't got cower though, has he?
He doesn't have cower.
No.
What he does have is his extra abilities. He's got 1 extra damage, he's got stun, and he's got focus. To my knowledge, that the Imperial officers get +2, or I think it's +2 range and +2 damage.
And focus, the Imperial officers generally get focus +2 if it's a red one.
Yeah, so this is kind of the difference with this guy. So I'm so far going, no, it's not worth it because he's not a combat character. You're still a blue-yellow dice, which is still
same gun as the Imperial officer, isn't it?
It's still a bit naff. But let's talk about his other abilities then. So for an activation, he's got bombardment, which is choosing an adjacent friendly figure. That figure may interrupt to perform an attack. The attack gains blast 1. So that is the same as what it's worse than the red officer, because the red officer has a bit of range on that. He's got anyone within 2. This guy has to be adjacent, so that's not as good.
What is it doing? Is that droids?
No, this is an adjacent friendly figure.
Anybody,
so anyone, but they gain blast 1, so that's
blast 1.
Give it to your stormtrooper or whatever. But it has to be adjacent, so I'm saying that loses a bit of power because of that.
Yeah.
So it's not as good. Then the blast 1 is obviously there to try and sweeten the deal, but I don't know if it's enough. And then the other
blast 1 is not something you can always use as well, So
his other very, very strong ability. This is why he costs 8 points. Honestly. Adjacent friendly droids and vehicles can use your surge abilities. That's why you use this guy. If you have a droid or a vehicle, they can use your surge abilities. He has focus and he has stun in his list.
Yeah.
So if you're using a droid and you've got, that's how you start putting stun on people. I'm actually thinking IG-88 of this guy's not bad.
I have no idea where I am, so I got lost.
IG-88 with this lad isn't that bad, because IG-88 can suddenly, you choose your dice. If he gets lots of surges, you can choose if you're going to stun or focus yourself or what you want to do for next round.
Yeah.
But IG-88 is an expensive character, and he's also scum, so that's a different way of building.
Well, you can squeeze this guy into a scum list, can't you? Can you?
Yeah. In fact, this guy is better in a scum list than an Imperial list.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. That's not the direction of play, because Imperials can take Scum, but Scum can take Rebels.
Rebels, yeah.
So-
There's a way of doing it, no doubt. You know, you stick IG-88 in an Imperial list.
Yeah.
Happy time. That's most of the list.
Okay, well, you know, Imperials have plenty of vehicles to choose.
Yeah.
Well, plenty being 2. But the droids at the moment is a little bit limited. So, you know, we've got the... obviously, we've only got the probe droids. So...
Yeah, you could... Yeah, again, looking at Scum, it's... The assassin droids is more useful to them than anybody else, isn't he, really?
Yeah, that would have been really good at the assassin droids to actually stun in their mix. So, it's a bit like he's in the wrong army.
Yeah.
Vehicles are also too expensive to justify putting him in there to just do a small amount extra. So it just...
Because as you found outside when you ran 2 walkers, you're better off with red officers.
Yeah, the red officers, they've got the range too, so you can actually shout at them from a little distance.
Yeah, from round a corner where you're safe.
Oh, also, the red officers make you be able to move or attack.
Yeah.
This guy is saying attack only.
Whiblast.
Big big black marks on him. But
so how many points is this guy? 8. So
8
compare
points.
him. For 2 more points, you could get 2 red officers. You'll take your vehicles.
You want 2 red officers,
Yeah.
So I don't really get it. I think that this guy is one of the poorest selections in any list. I would love someone to tell me what you're meant to do with him, or try and run him properly, or tell me I'm wrong and why he's amazing. Because
I imagine a situation where he's stood behind a list that consists of him and nothing else but E-Web engineers. And he's going blast, 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 and they're blasting away. So you're not going to be able to move that list anyway.
The E-Webs would only be better if he actually if they have got his ability as well. The E-Webs can't move properly.
It's only droids and vehicles.
Droids and vehicles, not heavy weapons.
Right.
And,
so scrap that idea.
So yeah, it's just not quite working. So he doesn't really work in a vehicle or droid list because they don't exist properly.
All Imperial droids? How could that work?
So you're saying we take 4 grey and
as many grey and as many red as you can take.
4 grey, 2 red.
That'd be strange, wouldn't it?
It'd be a strange list. It'd be quite interesting.
Loads of stun flying around, depending on how you manoeuvre this guy around in amongst the droids.
I don't know if he would actually make or break the list though. I don't think he's the... Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Droid Master Sorin.
Alright. Okay, there's a list.
I'm going to try it now.
That's a list we have to try for the future. So 4 greys, 2 reds and Sorin.
And let every droid command card go in and every Sorin command card go in.
Yeah.
That could be the most filthy thing ever we just invented. But
okay.
Maybe not.
Let's try it out. Alright. Well, that's basically the only list he can properly work with.
Yeah.
I think he's... Yeah, as I said, I think IG-88. Or, you know what, because the Imperials could take the HK Assassin droids as well. Maybe taking 2 of them is what you want to do with him?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Maybe, okay. Well, I don't think... I still don't...
We've not quite cracked the use of him.
No, you can tell from this episode we're not exactly fanboys of this guy.
I mean, there's the 2 tanks theory, 2 repulsor tanks. But the tanks die quick, don't they, and 10 life and all that, so I don't know.
But the vehicles as well come with blast built in, so people are aware they got blast. So
yeah,
so there's nothing
responding to blast before it even happens.
Yeah, so there's nothing. The blast doesn't come up half the time. But anyway, let's talk about the command cards. First up, we have the card planning. It costs 0 points, and you can have 1 on your deck, and it's for any figure.
It's not. Well, it is actually.
It is, yeah.
It's not really.
What? Yeah. Alright, spoiler alert. So for an action, draw 2 command cards, then if you're a leader, discard 1 of those cards.
Yeah.
Pete, this card is almost filthy.
It's good. It's very good.
It's a must-have in any list that has a leader. This is in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're taking a leader, you should be taking this card.
It's
very frustrating if you lose your 1 leader and you haven't had a chance to use the card yet. You shouldn't be. It's an early game card, isn't it? Really?
It's an early game card, but it doesn't. It works late game too. What this card does though is you need to put it on a leader that isn't a combat leader.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work very well on Fen or Leia or someone who you need to
got
be.
other stuff to do. Yeah.
You need if you need the 2 actions to go and fight and do things, you don't use it. This with what's that rebel guy called?
Gideon.
Gideon.
Yeah.
This with Gideon because Gideon's going to go. Someone can focus, and someone can. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just draw 2 cards.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. Imperial officers probably, while they're doing nothing, they may as well just draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
While they're protecting that terminal. It's just
just keep up with the stormtroopers a bit, and then throw down this and get 2 cards.
Absolutely brilliant card. For 0 points, this is just like the strongest card. One of the strongest first wave cards anyone ever had the privilege of using.
Really good. You should never use it with a non-leader, really.
No,
I mean, unless you've only got 1 or 2 leaders and they got killed, and suddenly you've got this card then maybe, But you don't want to waste that card.
This card is undervalued as well. It shouldn't be 0 points.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
If this is 1 point, if this is a point, you'd buy it.
The trouble is, it interacts with other cards, so you're spending a slot in your deck to draw 2. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you're burning a slot on the deck. So it slightly counteracts itself a little bit. But if it was, I don't know, if it was 1, would it be overcosted?
No, I think it would.
It'd still probably be worth it. Yeah.
I would take it for 1 point. I think it's undercost.
Yeah.
And as Pete said, it's brilliant how it doesn't work on. It works on any figure as well. So even when you lose all your leaders, you can still use it.
Yeah.
Brilliant card. That for us is a must-have in any deck. Okay,
Definitely.
let's go on to the next card then. Emergency Aid. This is 2 points, and you can have 1 in your deck. It's for any figure. This costs an action. Choose an adjacent figure. That figure recovers 2 damage. If you are a guardian or leader, that figure recovers an additional 1.
Yeah, that's all right. How many is it? 2 points?
2 points. I think it's expensive.
It is.
You can. I mean.
Yeah, it's expensive. These days you've got things like MHD, whatever his name is.
17, yeah.
Yeah, and you've got the snow troopers running around healing people.
There's a lot of ways to even when you have to recover yourself, isn't that only like 1 point?
Well, a lot of figures have a surge recover 2 health, don't they?
This is recover an adjacent figure. This is a great card if you've got your 4 Imperial officers and they're protecting Vader, but then I don't know. Or actually, it's good for the Imperial guard champ.
Yeah.
Because they can just go and repair him. It's an expensive way to do it though, because you had to be adjacent to someone in the first place,
Yeah.
So typically that's your whole activation up, moving and fixing.
Yeah, and it's maximum 3 damage, so. It counteracts a decent shot from a stormtrooper. A low-level stormtrooper. 2 points in the card slot. I don't know if it's worth it.
The idea here is obviously that you're meant to put on a leader or a guardian, and they're meant to go and do it to somebody who needs those 2 actions.
Yeah.
So your fighty character, you don't want to self-heal because it'll use up one of their actions. So you've IG-88. You don't want to waste one of your actions not shooting, do you?
Yeah.
So, but I'm just not incredibly sold on it.
No. It's you could save a game, but it'd be quite rare for it to do it, and to be wasted using 2 points on it. Too much.
Too much.
1 even, so maybe.
And let's move on to our last card.
Yep.
This is General Sorin's own card, Orbital Bombardment. So this is, as I said, it's a Sorin only card. It costs 3 points, and you can have 1 in your deck. So this is another reason why you have to take Sorin over the Red Officer, who don't have a unique card for themselves. So for 2 actions, so this is this is your whole turn. Choose up to 3 vehicles, droids, or heavy weapons adjacent to you. Each of these figures may perform an attack. Each gains blast 1. Holy God. How do you even set yourself up that you're adjacent to 3 vehicles or whatever? With line of sight.
3 what? Heavy weapons?
Heavy weapons, droids, or vehicles. Well, vehicles isn't happening. But
it's tricky to get between 3 vehicles. There's a mixture, you could have an Imperial rogue droid one side, Walker the other. 3 E-webs. You could be adjacent to 3 E-webs.
That's even tough. I think that.
And what do they do? Sorry, say it again, sir.
Each of these figures may interrupt to perform an attack. Each gains blast 1. So, and remember, because when you're adjacent to Sorin, you can use his his abilities. Well, sorry, droids and vehicles can.
Yeah. So, alright, let's go to the extremes. 3 Imperial probe droids. Let's say the red ones for a laugh.
Right.
And he activates their
7 points each?
5.
Oh, 5 points and they get 7 life, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 of these guys, and he goes bang, do it. So they shoot. They're quite low range, aren't they, droids? Medium-ish range.
Yellow, blue.
Yeah. They're about 6 with a wind behind them.
That's medium, but they've got a lot of adjustments to that as well.
And if there's a cluster of enemies at 4 or 5 squares away, it's quite a setup, isn't it? You know, it's. And then they got the first guy shoots, and he's got all his surges, add damage and all that. And then it's blast 1, and then the second guy shoots, blast 1.
It's not going to work because you need the 2. You need the 2 actions to do it. So the only way this is going to work is somehow the enemy is clustered around, and Sorin in his last turn is in a position where everyone's clustered around. Oh, you know what? He could be your first activation. That, you know, after his last activation, he's moved there and done something. It's such a hard amount of work to get all 3 of your guys in the right place.
Yeah.
And who are you
There's
even
better things
shooting?
you can be doing. There's better characters you can be bringing, basically.
This is 3 points as well. Oh my god!
It's one of your big cards, and it's going to be. You know, you got to hope that the enemy lines up nicely. Otherwise, it's a big waste. If you're just shooting at 1 or 2 guys with it, you know, if you're shooting at 1 or 2 rebel Hoth troopers or whatever, you need. This is for blasting a spam list who have foolishly, you know, stood 5 squares away in a massive big block. That'd be awesome. You could take out loads of stormtroopers with 3 droids with this.
Yeah.
But you know, how many times are you going to see that in front of you?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No,
it's very hard. It's a very hard. But even like the droids and things that you're going to have, like, you know, ideally you want to have 2 ATSTs and a tank right beside somehow.
Which is diametrically very difficult. It's possible.
Even to try and get them into the right places.
It'd be possible if it was an open map. You know, you could have like an ATST in front and a droid. I don't know. Sorry, the second one to the side. But with the corridors and the ginnels and the red terrain and all, you know, all that stuff, it's never going to work.
It's not going to work.
Not fully.
No. All right. So.
As the trouble is, because this card is a bit duff, it renders the character a bit duff, doesn't it?
If that card was really good, you could nearly justify why he's 8 points. But he's just lacking. He's lacking off what the red officers have here. So it's kind of a shame. It feels like if he was 5 points, would you take him over a red officer? I think you would. Okay, let's say he's 6 points.
I'll probably have tried him by now if he was 5 points.
If he was 6 points, I think you'd take him.
Yeah.
In fact, you would. 6 points, I think he might be a bit common, but he'd still be expensive for that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think he's a bit of a dud character, to be honest.
He is.
One of the only ones, and it's a shame because, you know.
Yeah. He's not very menacing at all.
He's in quite a cool pose.
Yeah.
I like that. The model of him is he's got his hands behind his back, and he's looking all prim and proper. He looks like a proper World War II tank commander.
Yeah. He's kind of like the guy who's driving the AT-AT in Empire Strikes Back, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think it is that guy. No, it's not. But yeah, he's got that bucket hat on, little grey bucket hat. So it's a nice mini, but yeah, it's a game character. He's a bit duff, really.
Yeah. I wonder. Campaign, is he better? Do you know?
Yes, it will be better in the campaign because it's more about, you know, walkers and e-webs and things like that in the campaign. There's a lot more of that going on. And in the campaign, you're trying to delay the good guys, you know.
So stun has extra weight to it?
Yeah. He would be a bit more useful in the campaign.
Okay.
But no, in skirmish, nah, not for me.
All right.
Although I may try the 13 droids and him list, maybe.
I think that sounds worth trying. All right, we'll leave it at that. Okay, guys, thanks for listening, and see you next time.
Cheerio.
Bye.